I'm back. Skipped yesterday because I drove from Vegas back to San Jose. Spent the week seeing my parents, Thanksgiving, yada yada, and I'm back into the swing of things. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday, December 2nd. Today we're talking about 10 mistakes that will keep your house from selling. All right, let's go into this real quick. Now, why do I talk about this? I talk about it over and over and over and over again, seemingly because it's stuff that people look at. When buyers are looking at your house, if you're getting your house ready to sell, understand that this is exactly what people are thinking, right? If you see a house and it has cracks in the walls or scratches in the floors or broken switch plates or broken windows or what have you, that's excessive damage. And one little thing can set a buyer off to go start looking for more and more and more stuff in your house, more broken things, more things that are out of place. And it might be one innocuous thing, might be like something you totally overlooked. And I understand that. But if you have lack of maintenance, like a house I tried to sell earlier this year, it was overpriced and it was not updated, and it was there was so much wrong with it. Like even the garage door didn't close shut, and he's like, no, let the buyer deal with it. Well, then lower the price. No, that's where the comps are. No, okay, well, then your house isn't going to sell. One little thing can damage the entire time your buyers are on property. Okay. And then, things like carpet in the bathroom, hashtag REWTF, right? I send out pictures like that all the time. Get rid of it. Put tile in there. Put linoleum in there. Put something cheap on the floor. Get rid of that, because what that is just a festering mold farm. And a buyer does not want to take care of that, because when they see that, they think, oh, I wonder what's underneath the carpet. And I just absolutely don't want to even think about it right now. Right? That's a major turnoff. So if you have carpet, I know it was cool back in the 70s, get rid of it. All right. Big, nasty stains. You got a carpet, got a rug, and it has a big stain in it. Get rid of it. You have a stain in the wall or the ceiling. Get rid of it. Paint it. Look, you're selling a multi-million-dollar home, potentially, right? Put the money into it and fix it up. It's enough. Guilty. Pet smells. I have 2 dogs. My house smells like dogs. I understand that. I vacuum the hell out of my carpet, my rug, and my couches, and everything. And I just, there's nothing I'm going to do to get rid of it, but it's a major turnoff for buyers. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I can get rid of the dogs, but they're part of my family. I get that. At the same time, they stink a little bit. So loud dogs who bark every time someone approaches the home. Yeah, here's the thing. If you have dogs and you're selling a house, get out of the house. Take the dogs out of the house. Period. My dogs bark at everything that they think they see in the front door. And I have side lights with, it's kind of opaque, and they see something walk by and they always bark. It drives me nuts. But, for me, it's a deterrent for thieves. So, but when a buyer's coming into my house, I would take the dogs for a walk. Take them out. Take them for a drive. Take them to the park. They love being at the park anyway, right? A dead lawn. Dude, I don't know how many times I've seen this where everything's done up and it's all nice except for the backyard is dirt. The front yard, that's a curb appeal thing. If you don't have your front yard tuned up, looking pretty, looking beautiful, your house isn't going to, it will sell eventually. We'll get into that. We have the highs and lows today. A bad agent. Look, an agent can only do so much, right? I have a process that I sell a house. I do step by step by step. I've honed it down for 22 years. I know the process very well. And if there's one thing out of the whack, whether it's a broken window, a cracked wall, something out of line, I tell you to fix it, and then you tell me no. I don't know what to tell you, right? I'm your Sherpa. Ultimately, you decide you're going to go up the hill, and if you die along the way, that's on you, right? Don't be sloppy. Yeah. Just got back, and my daughters left the house in a tizzy, and I blew a cork just now. Yeah. Here's the thing. They're 19 years old. They should be able to clean up after the sums. They're not 3 years old anymore, right? They have to go clean their stuff. They have to take care of it. And I know that they have a lot of stuff going on their plate, but I come home from Thanksgiving weekend and the house is sloppy, I'm going to be pissed. Same thing. If a buyer comes in and they see stuff stacked everywhere, like junk everywhere, just stacked, your house is not presentable. Your house does not look like a showroom floor or showroom home. Clean it up. No more than 3 things on any surface. If it's more than that, get rid of it. It doesn't have a place there. It has no need or reason to be there. You're packing up. You want to move, pack it up, put it in the garage. Unreasonable sellers. Look, again, your agent is your guide, right? If you tell him no, or you counter him, or you fight him at every corner and nook and cranny and price and everything else, you're going to have a horrible experience. Ultimately, you are responsible for selling your house. An agent is your guide. They have the process, they have the keys, they have everything they need to sell your house as long as you agree to what they say. If you fight them on every little nook and cranny, you're going to have a horrible experience. And then you're going to blame the agent, right? I have a process and I walk through that process, not once or twice, but multiple times as we go through it. I go back to the process. It's a big Gantt chart. And we go through it every time we go to the next step. This is what we just did. This is what we're doing now. These are the next step. Get in the mindset. This is where we are, right? Bad taste. If you have old ass wicker furniture, it's going to show you're a cheap person. If you don't stage your house correctly, it's going to show that you're cutting corners. If your house is not presented well, meaning you have 1980s furniture or a rickety old desk and your rooms don't have a purpose, that's bad taste, right? I understand. People are looking for the experience. They want to come in. I know it's your stuff, but still they want to come in and experience an amazing house. They don't want to pay $2 million for a house that's just been kind of neglected and not maintained, and cheap furniture and crappy this, and the old style boob lights or old chandelier. They don't want to look at that. They don't want to look at tile counters. They don't want to buy a house with that, because in their head is that I have to redo that. And in your head as a seller, you're thinking, oh, I'll just, whatever. I'll just, lower the price, or I'll negotiate with them. You don't negotiate. You're not a market maker. You have to attract the market. All right. Enough said. By the way, if you haven't downloaded this inspection checklist yet, do it, because it's helpful. It'll walk you through every step of your house, every little corner of your house, see to check and make sure that your house looks good. And if it's not, fix it, or bring in a handyman, bring in a painter, bring in a plumber, get it fixed. Get everything fixed so that when you do inspections, it won't be alarming to the buyer. Okay, enough said. Highs and lows of Santa Clara County. This is Infidel Court, not my listings. Took 2 days to sell. $6.5 million sold for 6.8. 5-bedroom, 5.5, 5,300 square foot in Saratoga. Let's take a look at this. Beautiful home. See, look, everything's presented. Everything has taste. It looks good. This is the master suite right here. You have a nice driveway that takes you into the house. Have nice vaulted ceiling. You don't have the big, huge, tall, super slopes. And you have a nice kitchen. It's nice and white. Look, these are older kitchen. This is an older kitchen. You can tell by the cabinets. But it was just painted. They put new countertop on it. They put nice black countertops to offset. Everything's brand new. stainless steel. It looks nice, right? Well, $6.5 million, you better put it up, right? It's nice. And not everything's up to date. Look, this is a little old style here. I get it. It's also Saratoga, and it's a big, huge home, and it's a big property. I love these. This rooftop. I have a friend who has these. They're waterproof, and then they actually go up too. And you can either crank it or have a motor. It's really cool. That's really awesome that they put that there. A nice pool, and they have a floor plan. Thank you for putting a floor plan out there. So it's the very least you can do. And this is the lowest sold price, $860,000 in Gilroy. It took 68 days to sell. Original list price was $975,000. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, built in 1975. 68 days to sell. Why? Because it was overpriced. Look, let's take a look inside. Whew. There is a buyer for every house. Just depends on the price, and buyers determine the final sales price. And the agent didn't use professional photos. You can tell because everything's muted. This is blurry, not well lit. Yeah, I wouldn't have paid $860 for it, but there you go. And then the highest list price to sales price ratio, this listed at 888, took 22 days to sell. I actually saw this one. It's nice inside. Sold for $2.5 million, because it doesn't matter what the list price is. You're going to attract the market. You're going to get a flood. At this point, you're going to get a flood of offers come in. You're going to sell it really quick. You're not going to have to worry about it. It sold for 283% over original list price. And then this is the lowest list price to sales price. Original was 1.67888. Sold for 1.2. It took almost 2 months to sell. And this is in Berry Park over here. If it's overpriced for the condition and the location, your house isn't going to sell. I don't know what to tell you. You get some, it looks like it was staged, maybe. Yeah, this is staged. See, backyard looks like crap. Not a whole lot of pictures. They didn't really market it well. And you have a floor plan. It's nice. This is a nice floor plan. I don't know why they have 2-car garages here. There's 1 bedroom downstairs. See, this is nice because this was an add-on. I bet this was an add-on. Can't tell because you don't really have. Yeah, you can see that this was an addition right here. That was the original backyard. And then they put a 5th bedroom, a master suite downstairs. So you can have multi-generational living in here. $1.2 million. Buyers got a fantastic deal because they didn't price it right. Right. And let's see. Oh, there is this guy right here is the most expensive home for sale right now. If you want to look at it, it's in Los Altos. It's $35 million. On market 3 days, 7 and 5.5 bathrooms, 1 acre and 7,500 square foot. Built in 2010. And then it's the lowest list price up in the mountains, $279,000, 2-bedroom, 300 square feet, almost 2 acres. Yikes. Wow, there's more pictures on this than, yeah, look at that. You want a cabin in the woods? There you go. Better get good at chopping wood. Couldn't imagine how much your insurance would be for that. There you go. Oh, Los Gatos House of the Week. Los Gatos House of the Week is Jackson Street. I just picked it just because it looked like it was close, walking distance to downtown. You have to cross the freeway. But I think this one's up in the mountains a little bit. So you're going to have to pay fair plan. Insurance, it's nicely updated. I think this one's going to be a bit to sell. Let's see how many days on market. 116 days on market. Has the price come down? Yeah, just a little bit. Went from 2.9 to 2.6. Yeah, I mean, It's 1,700 square feet. There's nothing fantastic about this house. The outside needs to be redone. You're in fair plan, meaning the insurance, you're in a fire zone. And yeah, maybe the inside was updated a little bit, but kitchen's nice. I don't think it's going to sell for 2.6. All right, there you go. And all these numbers are on my blog. You can come take a look at it. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Abitano. Call me when you need to sell your house. We'll see you out there.